to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, I'm going to be doing a hypnosis session that integrates the text, the lyrics of a motivational speech. Some of you know that I have various businesses, and hypnotherapy is definitely a big passion of mine. But I also have been in the PR and branding space for a long time, so I have a different company there. And one of my team today was doing a motivational talk, and they did the motivational talk, which was effectively reading this speech that I'm about to do as a hypnosis session, but almost like as a poem. And they delivered that. And I, being in the industry that I am, with the knowledge of affirmations, beliefs, and what emotional state that you access can actually be really useful, linked to certain words and kind of beliefs that you have about your capabilities and about resilience at some level. There was lots in here that I thought that would make a great hypnosis session. The actual theme and the title is it's not easy, but it's worth it. And as I heard that, I thought, I'm certain I've given that as various hypnotic suggestions in many different sessions from a place of preempting the fact that a lot of what happens in life is challenging, and nobody said it would be easy. But in my experience, the willingness to do difficult things and the willingness to take on challenges brings so much value, because it teaches you about determination, about tenacity, about motivation, and the character that you require to overcome adversity and setbacks. I found it very empowering. So this hypnosis session is going to utilize this motivational speech in its form. I believe it was written by an artist or a collective called Fearless Motivation. I don't know if they originally wrote this kind of speech. I hope they did, so I'm giving credit to the right person. But I'm going to hope to do it some justice and deliver it not from the point of view of a Tony Robbins style motivational speech, but more from the tonality and delivery of a hypnotist, because that's what I am. And therefore, it should have a different connotation and a different interpretation than if I was running around on stage delivering it as a speech. This is meant to be experienced as hypnotic suggestions rather than, rallying you up to get all motivated in the moment. And the difference between that is that if this is just a temporary way to get you motivated in a moment, I think it has limited value. A lot of these phrases that I'm going to integrate into this session, if they're taken as belief systems rather than temporary suggestions, that's going to have a lot more value. So there will be a metaphor before I actually deliver the speech to give you an idea of how to think of these in terms of belief systems, and I feel like if it's perceived that way, it's going to be much more valuable. So, and by the way, if you want a copy of this but without having to listen as a podcast episode, I'm going to do two different versions, both available free of charge on my website. One will be the longer version, which has the hypnosis bit, and then the second will be just a version which is the speech but delivered with hypnotic tonality. Both versions will be on my website, adamcox.co.uk, and both versions you can get for free using the coupon code FREE. So don't feel like you have to listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube every time you want to hear this. You can just download it as an MP3 file straight from my website, completely free of charge, if you think that might be useful. But for now, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that tension, stress, and worry is leaving your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, if it's safe to do so, on the next outward breath, allow your eyelids to close. And in closing, notice that you can give more of your focused attention to the sound of my voice, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Allow any tension in your body around your neck, your shoulders, your eyes, your temple to just melt away. Release that unnecessary tension now. I want you to imagine that you are in a beautiful garden. And I want you to imagine that the trees, the plants that are in this garden represent your belief systems, what you believe to be true. And there was a point in time where you didn't believe these things because the seed of inception hadn't been planted. And if you were to go back into time and never plant that seed, then you would never have that future belief. And lots of your beliefs influence the way that you see and experience the world. We know a belief is a belief because you hold it to be true. You act as if it's true. I want you to imagine the size of your garden is proportionate to your current level in your life. And I want you to imagine that your garden could expand. I want you to imagine there is neighbouring land to your garden that has no trees, no plants. And I want you to imagine that you are about to plant seeds of ideas that could become beliefs in your garden. Imagine walking around this empty land neighbouring your garden with the belief system that if you were to cultivate this extra land with grass, with trees, with flowers, with plants, then you're expanding your mind. But the quality of your life is proportionate to the quality of your beliefs, and I wonder what would happen if you started planting quality seeds with quality beliefs here in this new space next to your garden. Doesn't it create the possibility of more opportunities, higher standards, experiencing a life of more of what you want? Imagine walking around that empty land, starting to plant seeds. It's easy to have faith everything is going to work out when everything is working out. You see, it's much harder to have faith when you're facing challenges in your life. But that is exactly when you need to apply your faith. Because faith is believing in the unseen. Faith is taking the first step. Faith is jumping in the deep end and knowing everything will be okay. It's easy to be positive when everything is working out, but it's much harder when nothing is working out. But that's when we need it the most. Everything worth the prize is worth the fight. Everything worth the prize will require a real fight to achieve that prize. If you want the prize, you can't quit at half-time. You can't quit mid-season. You must play the whole game, pre-season, through the cold, through darkness, through the challenges and through the opponents. You will be knocked down, of course, but you must get up. Keep fighting. Dig deep and discover your true strength. Then you will win the real prize. Character, expansion, and you rising to the next level. If I can survive the storm, I can outdo the norm. To break through the norm, I must first survive the storms. To have more than most, I must do more than most, believe more than most, learn more than most, sacrifice more than most, believe more than most. Inside your own mind, your inner dialogue, now say to yourself, long term, I know what I need will come my way. Long term, I know if I keep at it, I will be rewarded. Long term, I know consistency pays off. Long term, I know all my actions, all my discipline, all my integrity will pay off in a big way. I have faith. Everything will work out. In the end, all will be fine if I keep working, if I keep learning, if I continue to evolve, if I continue to adapt, if I learn new ways. Setbacks aren't always negative. Sometimes they send to guide us in a much bigger and better direction. But you can only see that if you show character in those hard times. If you remain open-minded in the hard times. If you show strength through your struggles. Don't say, why me? Ask, how can I come out of this stronger? What can I learn? In the hard times, we see who really has the character. In the hard times, we see what people are really made of. What are you made of? Tell me, what are you made of? Character, expansion, growth, and pride. So keep going. Your future self is begging you. And then imagine walking around this patch of land, feeling like you've planted powerful seeds, empowering seeds. And perhaps the most important seed of all is the idea that you have the resources to exceed challenges, that either you win or you learn, that it won't be easy, but it's worth it. And then imagine that you can speed up time in your mind, and imagine that you are supporting these delicate beliefs, these seeds of ideas with sunshine and rainwater, and perhaps even plant food to nurture these new seeds. And imagine they all start to take root. Imagine they start growing into beautiful flowers, impressive trees, an immaculate lawn, and then notice what was a small but beautiful garden is now a much larger garden. Maybe this is what leveling up means. Maybe this is what expansion means. I want you to get a sense that these new belief systems change the way that you look at the world, and I want you to imagine what kind of future you can expect. What kind of future you can expect when you do dig deep, when you find that strength that lives inside you, when you trust that if you keep doing your thing, you will be rewarded. And it might not happen right away, it rarely does, but it will happen if you keep going. Those that struggle allow regret to enter their life. It doesn't make sense to look back on your life in 5 years and think, I could have done more if only I stuck it out. I could have been in a much better position. Doesn't it make sense to do what you can today so in the future you can look back with pride? Look back and be able to say to yourself, it wasn't easy, but I am so proud I stuck it out because I got my rewards. And sometimes the rewards aren't tangible things. Sometimes they are the character, the wisdom that comes from keep going forward in the face of adversity. So make sure your story is one of strength. Make sure your story is one of someone who refused to give up, someone who refused to settle, someone who refused to be normal. Keep going, because your future self is begging you. Imagine going 10 years into the future and meeting your future self, a future self that lived this story of strength, of persistence, of determination, and make a promise to that future self that even if it isn't easy, you will do what you can. And then find yourself back in the present, listening to my voice as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.